Okay, Model Anarchist here, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of talk about animal rights, um, eating meat, that sort of thing. Because there's a lot of bad information out there and it needs to be fixed. Okay, so the first thing I want to address are two huge health myths regarding eating meat. And these two myths each regard from two different sides of the debate, but they're both wrong. Okay, so the first myth is often put forward by ignorant meat eaters who say you can't get protein if you're a vegetarian. This is absolutely false. You can get any protein you need as a vegetarian from other animal sources such as dairy or eggs. Veganism is a little bit more complicated. Yes, you can get the protein you need as a vegan, but it's practically impossible. It's very difficult. You should not be a vegan. It is actually unhealthy. Where it's very easy to be a healthy vegetarian, it is almost impossible to be a healthy vegan. It's possible, but veganism is not a healthy lifestyle. Okay, now it's time for you vegetarians to get grilled. You're used to arguing against ignorant meat eaters, but boy, that ain't me. So here's a big myth that vegetarians propagate is that being a vegetarian is healthier than eating meat. And this is absolutely false. They often cite the vegetarians have lower incidence of heart disease, stuff like that. But the thing is, the average person who eats meat, they don't give a shit about what they eat. They don't eat healthy, okay? Not all carnivorous or omnivorous diets are created equally. Some are healthy, some are not. Just like some vegetarian diets are healthy, some are not. So this is an absolute fact. There is no arguing about this. It is a fact that the optimum diet for a human being is a balanced one. That means there's some protein, some fruits, some vegetables, some fats. You need a balanced diet. And really the biggest factor in whether a diet is healthy or not is not whether it has meat or no meat or anything like that. It is how processed the food is. Processed food tends to be bad for you. The more processed the food is, the worse it is for you. Whereas the more natural a food is, whether it's meat or it's vegetables or potatoes or whatever, the healthier it is for you. You need a balanced, minimally processed diet, and that's what's important. I know a lot of you vegetarians might disagree, but guess what? Fuck you. Take off your shirt and make a video. Okay, it is a fact that the human body has evolved to intake meat. And if you do not believe me, look in the mirror, open up your mouth, and examine your teeth. You'll find two canine teeth whose purpose is to cut into meat. Also, look at your eyes. Predators tend to have eyes right next to each other. See? Yep. That's so we can see in 3D and hunt. If we were prey instead of predator, we would have our eyes on the sides of our heads. Now, let me just clarify something real quick. I do not mean to say we evolved with the purpose of eating meat, okay? Evolution has no purpose, it has no goals, nothing like that. I did not mean it like that. However, I meant that we evolved to be able to take in nutrients from meat and to be able to obtain meat. Okay, so now that we have all this health stuff out of the way, let's move on to the absurdity that is animal rights. Now, let me just clarify real quick. From now on, whenever I say animals, I actually mean non-human animals, although I am well aware that humans are animals too, as an animal is any organism that must intake other organisms to survive. Now, to begin with, I do not believe in morality, nor ethics, nor any of that type of bullshit, okay? But, hypothetically, let's say I did. Would animal rights or that type of thing, or equal treatment for animals, be justified? So, it is impossible. It is inherently impossible to give animals rights without inherently asserting that animals are equal to human beings. Let me repeat that. You cannot give animals legally enforceable rights without asserting that they are absolutely equal to human beings. Now let me explain why. Let's say Joe Blow over here commits violence against an animal, and therefore violates the animal's rights. Since Joe Blow violated the animal's rights, then we must impart a punishment onto Joe Blow. But what if Joe Blow resists the punishment? Then we are forced to commit violence against Joe Blow. Therefore, we are inherently saying that human beings are of equal value to animals when we give animals rights. Alright, stay tuned for part 2. Click below.